Kids asleep. Sharks awake. Trade Daddies on the mic. Let's work. Let's work. Rent your hand by daylight, grease on the sleeves. Nightfall, switch lanes, candles in degrees. Blue collar mornings, markets after dark. Teaching wealth in the shadows, lighting up the charts. From the shop to the screens, breaking cycles, no cap. Turn patience into profit, show the roadmap. Education first, yeah, the mission stay clean. Built on discipline, modern Canadian dream.
Daddy time, late night grind. Shots glow while the world unwinds. Trade Daddies, yeah, we break it down. From higher highs to support and bounce.
OG in the game, seen bubbles and pain. Hands wrapped tight, both gloves and gains. From the ring to the feeds, pressure don't shake. Market swings heavy, steady moves get made. W3BC built, yeah, the vision clear. Teach and entertain, make the lesson hit here. Punchlines land like a clean left hook. Market speak when a trader looks. After bedtime, headphones on, screens glow bright. Risk defined, patient tested every night. No hype trades, only structure and plans. Read the flow, understand supply and demand. Not promises made, just skills passed down. So the next generation builds solid ground. From dads to traders, lessons stay true. Knowledge is power, now pass it through.
Who runs the charge?
Trade Daddy,
Who breaks it down?
Trade Daddy.
Risk reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Who runs the charge?
Trade Daddy,
Who breaks it down?
Trade Daddy.
Risk reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Daddy time, late night grind. Real talk for the trading mind. Trade Daddies after dark. Read the market, play it smart.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Trade Daddies. We're back with Jay Chains in the house every week. Wednesday nights, we back in the charts doing our thing. I am literally trying to get Arena going right now. So take it away, Jay Chains, for like a couple seconds.
I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming to hang out. We are the Trade Daddies. We're both dads and we trade. That's why we're the Trade Daddies. Super excited to come, live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Grab your beverage of choice. I'm double fisting today. I wanted a beer, but I also wanted a little bit of whiskey. So, cheers, fam. I guess. Oh,
Salute. I have water today. I'm feeling like I should have got a beer. All right,
you can go run and get one if you need to.
I will run and get one, but in the meantime, so I got Arena added as a destination.
Nice.
Oh wait, is it not going to this destination? Can you do it while you're live?
You might be able to. You got to do it through an RMTP.
Oh, it's live. Okay, we worked. Got it. Okay, great. I just switched to the StreamYard, so I am literally learning on the fly. But what's going on, my Arena homies? We are back on the Arena. This is gonna make Mikkel really happy for Tuesday nights. Okay, I'm gonna go run a beer. Take it away for 2 seconds.
All right, perfect. Let's go. All right, so what do we got in the chat? Luca in the building. What is up, Luca? I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure that you smash the like button on your way in here. Number one thing you can do to help Mike and I out, obviously, is smash that like button. Cheers to you all. Happy Wednesday evening. There he is. What'd you get?
I got me another Summersby apple cider because it's almost summer. You guys are probably already in summer.
Oh man, it is like
we're getting there.
Funny. I'm wearing the beanie, and I'm like, I feel like I'm schwitzing everywhere. Like it's hot here. It's been in the 80s. Like it was 88 the other day. I redid my whole back patio. We're gonna be spending a ton of time outside.
That's nice. Do you have like a big backyard? I think like a forest or something like nearby you, or like nature.
So we have like a really thin backyard. It's like probably 10 feet wide. It's long but narrow. But then we've got this big berm hill that goes into the woods. It's like,
Oh, nice.
we don't have a fence in our yard, which is cool. Our dog loves just to go up there, and
Go wander,
it's
yeah.
really funny. Strange enough story. He actually has made friends with the deer, and so there's like this doe that has come and hung out with him. They will play for, I don't know, dude. It feels like an hour or two, and then he'll come back like a little while later, and they'll play again and just run around. So it's like this deer is not afraid of my dog, and it's strange. And so it's great that he's got this outlet. He's got his deer friends, and I'll send some pictures later too, so you can see it. But yeah, we like totally redid our backyard, put some like fake astroturf down, got rid of the dirt piles and everything, and it's great, man. It's like an oasis now, tropical oasis.
Yeah, like we don't have a backyard in my house. We have it's weird. Like this, we have a courtyard. So like I'm in a townhouse and we're attached. But in between the two houses, mine and the one beside me, there's like a square in the middle, and it's split down half. So we have a little courtyard. But I put like me and my dad did like pattern concrete because I didn't want grass. I'm not one of those people that likes to garden or cut grass or any of that stuff. So the less stuff I have to maintain, the better. My wife has the green thumb. She likes to do her gardening. So by all means, she does that. I'll do all the stuff in the house.
There you go. There you go. I have a green thumb. I love gardening. But yeah, no, it's funny. We there's no way we could grow or there's no way we could grow grass because of how we have the trees and the coverage that they have here in Georgia. So we put the AstroTurf stuff, and man, now it's like zero maintenance. Like I had to upgrade my blower too. So my birthday is coming up at the end of the month, and so my wife and daughter, as part of like the improvement project, they got me my early birthday gift, and so I got like this so I'm a Ryobi guy, and I got the 40-volt air blower, and do this thing like it blows everything perfectly off the patio, so it's wonderful.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, my father-in-law got a new one for up at the trailer, and he has it's a Ryobi as well, and he loves it. He all his tools are Ryobi. They're really good stuff.
I just, it's I'm a battery operated kind of guy. It makes it easier. Like I got plenty of the batteries, so you don't have to worry about cords for anything. It all works.
I just took apart my snowblower. It crapped out after our last big snowfall, and it was one of those ones you plug in with a cord at the cord over my shoulder, like, and the motor just finally gave out. Took it apart, and it's like, yeah, she toast. Time to get a new one. I'm gonna go gas powered next year because screw the cords. I'm done. I just want easy. I'm getting old, man. I want easy mode.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like I don't want to be tethered to anything with a cord, power tool, machinery, anything. Nothing. No, thank you.
So we have had a pretty good week in the markets. Getting above some key levels. Kind of stalled out a little bit. Let's move into the charts.
Let's do that.
Oh, it didn't bring up my screen. I'll have to reshare it. Boop. It's weird. You have to always add it to the screen. Okay, here we go. So Bitcoin, wow. We hit 75. We think we hit a little higher. We hit about 76 the other day. So on Tuesday, we hit 76. It has been wild. It's been a great week for me for trading. I've hit trades every single day this week. I don't know how your trading has been going, but it's nice to catch the momentum. And we just, we catch our flags above that 200-day moving average, and you just, you keep going. And the Shark Daddy indicator has been on fire ever since Tuesday. Like it caught this one right here. If you caught this right here, you're still in the green.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It has been. I had somebody in our little, I think you saw it in our little group chat. Somebody had 188% win on one of their trades because of this indicator.
Dude, hell yeah, man. Awesome.
So it's been doing pretty good. If you guys want access, you got to join up to VDEX. So join the VDEX community, sign up on the website, and then just go ahead and join the Telegram or the Discord and DM me or message me and say, yo, I want the Shark Daddy indicator, and we'll get it. I'm just gonna open it up to all the VDEX community members and help you guys make some money.
Boom.
And even this one here today, like
I'm not going to tell anybody any information about it yet, but I started working on an indicator today.
Let's go
myself, and I'm fairly certain we are onto something major here.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I can't give any details yet. I will make, but like the group in the Discord will be the first to know. I know you're in there. A bunch of the homies are in there. I did so my first test today. I did a lot of back testing. I did a lot of watching. My first actual test, I had a 10% scalp. I was asking my wife, I was just like, because I was just like, all right, I'm about ready. The next time this thing gives me the alert, I'm doing what it says, and I'll be in and out. And then like, dude, 10 to 15 seconds, like I had a 10% win. I was like, let's go.
Dude, that's sick.
And it's been hitting all day. Now I got what I need to do is some research as to why like it's still like going off and hitting right now. It should be like there should be some parameters sitting there, and so I gotta do some research. But like it's still like it's still crushing it like this evening.
Yeah, honestly, what I do with mine, I just vibe coded it, man. Just go on. I just went on ChatGPT and look, I noticed it's doing something. It's like, say, hey, here's my code. This is what I wanted to. You know what I even did? Like, so when I wanted to trade like a certain model, and I even showed it. Like, I took screenshots of how it should look in the chart to enter the trade. Like, I want it on this setup. I even said I circled certain things. I said, see where I circled in the arrow. This is what the entry should look like. And it says, okay, I see you. And then like it codes it like based on it, just like deciphers my retarded brain to put in the code. And
it's such a cool tool to be able to use. Same thing. That's what I did. I vibe coded it just by saying, okay, I've seen something, I've realized something. Look at all these screenshots. This is there's an idea here. Let's go with it. And it's just like it was just a lot of iterations back and forth. And that Pine editor, man. And I'll tell you what, like big fan of where this is going.
Oh my goodness. And the cool thing is like anybody can do it. Mind you, you're gonna have to pay more for your subscription. So so people that are making these indicators, make sure you support them. But yeah, no, these tools are so good, especially for beginners. Just again, don't take it with a grain, take it with a grain of salt. Like the indicator is not perfect all the time, right? But if you keep your stop losses, under control and you're not risking too much, you can you catch one of these moves and it wipes out a lot of lost trades, right?
I mean, most of them, they might be like what I'm noticing is that like like on this indicator, like it might tell you, or like, and that may be something that I want to get rid of is the exit, right? Is like, because that's so, I mean, I think that has got to be something that, unless it's a bot trading, that's very, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's going to be very case by case dependent, and like,
yeah,
when you feel like it's time to get out, it's time to get out, kind of a thing. Like
I had the same problem, dude. Same problem. So if you look at here at my indicator, you look at the strategy. So this is the strategy for the code. Now, if you look at like the last 7 days, you're profitable, but only like $93 and 33% win. Why? It's because it exits too early. So and this is the hardest thing I've had to do it, is getting it to exit to catch the momentum. So I always tell people, forget about the strategy, where the strategy tells you to exit. Do it, like, figure it out for yourself. Find where you want to exit, where you're comfortable. Keep your stop loss low, because, like, for example, see this blue dot here? This blue dot is where the indicator would have exited. It would have missed this entire thing. So what I suggest is, when you are in an uptrend, as long as you don't lose that, as long as the white line, the smooth moving average, gets pulled up with it, you're still in the uptrend. It's when you start to get below. So when you see an uptrend, you'll see price move away to the upside of the smooth moving average, and then come back down. Away from it, come back down. And then when you're on a downtrend, you lose the 21, and then you come back down. You go down, you come back to it, but below it. So that's what I've noticed. When you want to get like really into the little details here, you can see the difference between the relationship between the smooth moving average and actual price action. And then also, when you're below the 200-day moving average on any time frame, it's usually more likely to be short than long. So just every flag. And this is how I traded this week. I got in here, for example, earlier this week. And then what I did is I put my stop loss below the 200-day moving average. And then every time there's a flag, there's a potential time to get into another trade. So I got in here, I sold here, and then I waited for another flag. I think I got in somewhere around here when we touched the 21 again. And I got out around here. And that was my trade. Those were the two trades I posted for that week, right? Or for that day. So it's just exit, learn your TA, like still do the analog where learn how to do it yourself. But the indicator is a tool where if you see those indicators that help you and then you do your TA and it gives you confidence, like, okay, all right, this is a pretty good trade here. And boom, bada bing, you make some money.
Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, the market's been interesting this week, man. I really it's strange to see, like all this crazy geopolitical tension, and you saw like oil just went crazy and then it took a dip, or at least some of the futures did. Like some of the stocks have been going crazy. I mean, Bitcoin obviously went up from the 60s to 74, which I think the last time when we were on the show last week, if I'm not mistaken, Bitcoin was what, at 70,000, right?
Last week would have been last Wednesday. Let's see, Thursday, Wednesday, the 8th. Wednesday at 9 would have been, no, this is 9 a.m. Yeah, it was around 72, 71, around there. It's Wednesday. No, sorry. We were down here. Yeah, we were at 71, 70, 71.
Difference in a week, right? And very clearly, if you like, and I know that like when we look at some different time frames and we zoom it out and we produce some projections stuff, it looks like it's like 80. Man, I posted this the other day. If you looked at, I think it was the daily chart. It might have been the weekly chart, but I think it was the daily chart. There was a huge volume gap up to like 86,000 something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll show you. We'll do our little.
We got a gap up north. We got a gap down south. As far as seeing, really interesting. Like, what are we gonna do? Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we closing gaps? Are we hitting? We filling volume holes? What's happening?
Right. Let's break it down. Let's go back to, we're starting the weekly, work our way down. I still think we're in that bear flag. I've said it before that we can go up to 80K. I think the top of this channel is 79 right now. So I'm a bear until we break the upper part of the structure here. So if we break this upper trend line, then I'm going to have to respect the double bottom here and then revisit here, which would be up around 90K, right? 93, around this liquidity level here. So that is what I would suggest if we're going to break. So we do have, so right here, if you look at the VPVR, there's a gap right here, right? Mm-hmm. So we're kind of like right here. So the gap would bring us to 83 if we get past this gap. So what if we don't get stopped at 78, right? After 78, there's another gap here, and then we go up to 83. Then we're probably going to, if we continue to go, we'll probably get stopped around 87. So that'll line up with this moving average right here, which would be a clear W pattern at that point.
Yeah.
So we want to see if that's the case, that's the bull case, then we're going up that way, and we're going to go to at least probably 87 at that point. Again, depending on
Mm-hmm.
if we get through that gap, or if we break out of the top of the structure.
First off, shout out to the Chad Miller in the building. What's up, Chad? Mick in the building. What's up? Hope you're doing well, nerds.
Yo, what's going on, Mick? Thank you for retweeting the stream. And if you guys are on X, please retweet the stream. Get the word out there for Trade Daddies, because I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody does it as more awesome and chill as us. No way. So make sure you guys post space, spread the word of the good word of VDEX.
I want to just be pragmatic about this stuff, and yeah, we've got the hopium, and I'll take a hit of the hopium really quick. That we go up to the 80s, to the 90s, and we're all going back to Valhalla. But in actual reality, again, we can go to the upside of this trend without breaking structure, still hit 80K, and then be rejected and sent back down to the sub 50,000, which a lot of people think is going to happen.
Absolutely. And I do want to show you guys something that I noticed, because you're seeing a potential double bottom here, right? And the bulls are going to be like, oh my God, it's a double bottom, such a strong bottoming pattern, and we're going to go to the upside, Valhalla soon. I still think we're in a bear flag, and the target of this bear flag is 45K. I don't know when it hits there, if it hits there. But I want to go back to my 3-day chart, because I keep coming back to my 3-day, and the 3-day is the one that tells me the story perfectly. So you can clearly see double bottom, right?
Mhm.
But I want to look at this previous consolidation before we dump down to 59K. So let's zoom in here and let's take a look at it. So you can see the same kind of thing. You see a bear flag to the upside, you went to the upside here, depending on how you want to. I think I'm going to draw it like this, as many touch points as possible. So that's my bear flag. Now, if you look at that, forget about this. You'd probably think we're bullish here because you see, and this is a better bottoming pattern. It's an Adam and Eve double bottom. You have a V shape and a rounded bottom. That's called an Adam and Eve double bottom. That more often than not is one of the strongest bottoming patterns out there. Now, what did we do? We dumped, right? We are clearly in a bear market, and especially after this, that is a downtrend. So what stops this downtrend is the break of this upper trend line and changing, and it changes structure because you have bear flag, dump, bear flag, dump. If you don't have the dump, then the structure will change and you'll have something like this. And now you're here, and then now you just gotta work and see if you can get past this liquidity level here, or you just might roll over, right? It might just be that. It can very well be any of those options. It can be like there's multiple options here. Nobody knows what it's going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. But again, you would have thought here, for example, double bottom, and we're going up, and all it really did was tap the top of that trend line and then just reverse right down. And I kind of feel like we may have something similar here. It might take till basically the end of this month. You know the irony of this. This brings us to like maybe a couple days from here. This could go to the Bitcoin conference, just dump at the conference. which would make sense.
About that for a while, like the timing of a lot of this stuff adds up to like the end of this month, the consolidation period, the ability to again go like what you said up to 80K. There is also there's some stuff about the Clarity Act coming through.
Yeah,
we don't know if that's we'll hear some word towards the tail end of this month, like maybe it makes sense to save some of that information for the Bitcoin conference. Like we know that Cynthia will be there. Like they love making their announcements. I don't think Trump is not going to be there, but his kid is going to be there this year, right? Yeah. Or are they consensus?
I think Eric Trump's going to be there. I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about his World Liberty Financial. He's a miner now in the space, right? So they're one of the bigger miners. What was that?
Does anybody really want to hear about World Liberty Financial right now? Like now that they know that they've reversed some of the stuff, they can like reverse transactions. They can state like Justin's son is like not stopping. He's got no chill in him right now about World Liberty Financial at all.
Yeah, that's the risk with altcoins, and we have a topic actually to talk about that kind of leads into that with Bitcoin. But real quick here, so I'm looking at this potential double bottom again. If we're bullish, we could easily just come up to the 200-day moving average here on the 3-day and get rejected. Then that can be up to 91K and rejected. So we don't know, but I'll tell you, like you got to get above here to have some like if you're thinking like new all-time highs in 2026, you got to get above here. The 3-day, the weekly, all that is got to make sense, especially the weekly. I'm hoping that we come back and revisit the weekly. I still think we make a cycle bottom, but I'll change my tune as soon as I see the upper trend line of this break. All right, so let's talk about that subject root I was looking at. So it was the Bitcoin developer Jameson Lob wants to freeze some BTC wallets to protect against quantum. Now, we're just talking about altcoins, how people can, reverse transactions and all that. And that's always been the risk with altcoins is you depending on who's running it, you can do stuff like that, right? There's that risk where Bitcoin never had that risk. And like, I put a post out today where it's like, I don't want to see this on Bitcoin. I know it's to protect quantum and all that, but the whole idea of Bitcoin is it's the freest market that we have without control, right? And, if you're just doing stuff to protect it, isn't it no different than like backstopping a bank during a financial crisis or a run on the bank when people are trying to get their money, right? Like it sucks because people will lose if someone hacks the Satoshi wallet and sells all that Bitcoin. then price is going to tank. Of course it is, but doesn't mean it will never recover again. It'll take time. But on the other hand, it's like now then we're getting into like this weird territory where it's like, oh, the devs can do that, and then again, it's still got to pass. All the miners got to vote for it, but that's the thing about it. I don't want that on Bitcoin. I want it to continue to be a free network. I still think, especially with quantum, like, fight fire with fire. If quantum's going to be a thing, then I believe the ASIC miners will have quantum chips in them too, defending it. Like it always, you know what I mean? You're going to have like, fire with fire, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting. All of this the timing of it is really interesting. I feel like it's one of these things that will perpetuate the conversation about Satoshi. Are we going to get maybe more information about that? Because, like, look, if you've got developers that are trying to freeze the Bitcoin that we don't want to let hackers get or quantum get. I think and then that again, it brings up the conversation about Satoshi with his coins in his wallet. That the stuff that hasn't moved in forever. What happens now? Like, does this further that conversation of who Satoshi is or what Satoshi is? And then do we find that out? And is this ultimately like it's groundbreaking for some people that have no clue, but like it could be earth shattering for many people, right? Like, that part of the mystery is one of the greatest things about it. And you think about some of the OGs that would, maybe if they were to find out, or if they were to have that were to be released and that is no longer part of the mystery or the lore behind it, they sell. And now, you're starting to see a cascade effect. I don't know. All of this stuff is just so wishy-washy to me. It's like, yeah, like, I don't know about fighting fire with fire, but I think, like finding ways to safeguard against this quantum stuff and Q day or whatever it's called.
It'd be really cool if like quantum actually becomes like a legitimate threat, and all of a sudden the Satoshi wallet just transfers the funds to a quantum proof wallet, and that's it. And it's like it would be just like, oh my god, he's alive. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be kind of like, yeah, it would be. I don't know. It'd be interesting, man. I think if quantum actually happens, that like if you have quantum and you can hack literally anything, Bitcoin is not really on your radar. If anything, you'd probably want to protect Bitcoin because you're probably going to hack everything else and use Bitcoin to escape. You know what I mean? You're going to put your stuff in Bitcoin. Because true. Again, if you're attacking things remotely, so we're not there yet. If anybody actually studies or just looks to quantum, like we are like a while away to be able to have quantum computers that can hack Bitcoin or anything.
Why do you think it's such like a big thing for people to talk about right now? Is it just being prepared, or is it a scare tactic?
Honestly, what I think it is? I think it's like the last attack vector, because you can't say it's a scam because the president is talking about it and institutions are getting in. Like, it's been around for, as of 2028, it'll have been around for 20 years, which is more than most companies that survive. So what's your attack vector anymore? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been around for so long. It has a 20-year history. It's still here. And if it makes new all-time highs again in 2028, 2029, how do you attack this thing, right? It's not you can't say it's a scam anymore because that's baloney, right? So I don't know. I think it is a threat. I think the timing of that threat is well far away. And to be honest, like when we get to that point, you can easily change the what do you call it? The algorithm from SHA-256 to like SHA, I don't know what, another higher number. I don't even know. I'm not a developer. I don't know coding. So, but from what I've read, they can just easily change the algorithm to be on a higher encryption. And then there you go, problem solved, which would be probably the more logical thing to do, and it would be the easiest for everybody to vote in. And then we'll see. But if I don't know, if this goes to a vote and Adam Back votes to freeze these wallets, then maybe he is Satoshi. Maybe he's protecting his butt.
He denied it. I think they would see either like him or Hal Finney, right? Isn't that what other people think?
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I guess people just need something to talk about in the bear market.
Always, man. It's save that drama for your mama, folks. Save that drama for your mama.
So on more adoption news, Goldman Sachs files for Bitcoin income ETF in crypto push. So the banks are getting in, man. The banks
Oh,
are
yeah.
getting in. It was a Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs now. People are getting in. And this is just like, I feel like this is just the beginning. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Which is crazy. Like we've been, crypto's been here for so long, but when it comes to institutions, like I know people are talking about institutions 2021, but like this is like where you're really seeing them get in a
yeah,
big
it's
way.
totally different. It's like, like people were talking about the institutions, but now it's the institutions are talking about it. Like, was it the DTCC, Nadine Chakar? She was talking about like tokenization is the biggest push thing. You've got all the BlackRock people are talking about this stuff. All of the major investment firms, they are now telling you that Bitcoin is it, tokenization is it, this is the hottest thing, this is where it's all going, this is what they're focused on. And it's evident in the headlines, like like this and several other ones, especially the ones that like I'll pull up in the morning show, where it's very clear, very very clear where this is headed. You couldn't even, it's funny, like I think for a while now, and correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, please. I would like for someone to correct me if I'm wrong with this, but like I feel like crypto is living out the bullish divergence, right? And I know that you've heard me talk about this, and maybe we could talk about this where a little bit more and develop this idea, because like all of the headlines, everything, with the exception of a FUD article here and there, everything is massive where it's going. Like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, this company, that entity, yada yada yada. It's just every single day, it's nonstop. But the price action doesn't support this, and it doesn't support this on a lot of altcoins. I get it, but even Bitcoin, like you would think, the fact that you've got all of these major investment firms are pushing for ETFs and the advancement of blockchain and the rails and all this stuff. But I would think that Bitcoin should be $300,000 already, but it's not. I think it's that divergence. We got the price action that's it's going down. We're in a downtrend still, but honestly, the indicators down below, the market cipher B, your stock, your MACDs, all this stuff, they are the headlines. That's the news, and they are pointing straight up. But price action is not following yet. What do you think?
You're absolutely right. It's when you look at that and all the news and where it's going, if you just follow the trend of like not so much the trend, but like, look at what they are doing, not what they're saying kind of thing. And they're doing like, getting crypto embedded in the financial system right now.
Yeah.
And you just see it more and more and more. So yes, I do believe it's severely undervalued, it's because we're so early. The institutions are getting in, but retail's not here, man. Retail hasn't come back this bull market. And I think it's going to take another crazy Bitcoin price where the market just goes nuts to get people in, because like they're going to feel like they need to have that FOMO.
They need that FOMO.
That's always been the best advertisement for crypto is price. I think a lot of people will be using crypto and not even knowing about it. Like I think like it's going to be embedded in our financial system, where it's just blockchain technology is just part of the normal financial system soon. Probably within the next, maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 5 to 10 years before it becomes more of the norm. Because like banks move slow, institutions move slow. Like right now, again, first and foremost, we need the government to like have full clarity and understanding. So any company that wants to get involved in crypto knows exactly what to do and what not to do. Like that has to be like you got a corporation, you have a compliance department. They need to know what the hell they're doing with clear guidelines. So they're gonna, you have an institution, you're gonna have a compliance department. They're gonna work with the CFTC and the SEC to do what they're gonna do and make sure they're compliant, right? And you need to get to a point where you have all those guidelines, guardrails, whatever in place. And then, more and more companies can get in because it's a safe thing. Again, you're getting the early adopters, the cowboys, the people that the big boys in that have, that kind of lead the market. But it's the other people and the other institutions that you want to get into. And that's going to require more clarity from the government. And then once, and I've said this, God, for how many years have I been saying this on the Web3 breakfast space almost every morning that I'm talking, once they get in and, what's the next thing? Like logically, they have to advertise it to their clients. They want people using it. So once they get in and educated and up to speed, they're going to be pushing it to everybody else. So retail is going to have a huge tsunami coming in because it's going to be on TV. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be ads on your TV, ads on YouTube. You're going to see it everywhere. It's going to be that's where I think the mass adoption comes. It just becomes the norm. This is the new financial system and everyone's using it.
I think that all we're waiting for, if you can pull up my screen, if really we want to slice and dice it, like what we're waiting for right now is the battle between the regulators and the banks, because the banks have a plan B and they're called deposit tokens, and they're being tested in other parts of the world. It's not a stable coin, it's not a CBDC, it's a deposit token. It's basically a private blockchain system that these banks are using. The Bank of Korea they've been using this. They've tried this. Now what they're going to do starting in the second half of this year is they are going to allow this GS25. If you don't know what it is, GS25 is like the largest convenience store chain over in the Koreas, in South Korea. And so they're going to allow their retail customers to use these deposit tokens at a convenience store, which means they're beta testing exactly all of this stuff that we're talking about. This is the adoption. And if you think like, wait, they're not doing this in America, like no shit. Like first off, like North America is not like we're not the tech savvy institution and that everybody thinks.
Well, it's hard to pass this stuff because in America they really, really value freedom, and people are going to look at this like a CBDC.
And well, I mean, look, I'm putting together a video right now, so hopefully it'll be available at the end of this week. If not, it'll be probably. I don't like releasing stuff on the weekends just because people are checking out and they're touching grass and so maybe next week. But it's along that lines of what the heck is the stable coin versus a deposit token versus a CBDC? What is the difference? How are they the same and how are they different? And like, how are they going to be used? Because there are probably some misconceptions. Really when it boils down to where we're headed, man, I think the banks are fighting for power on the stable coin because they know that's where the market is. Like some of these other things are their plan B, but when you look at like the CBDC, the US had said we're outlining that until 2030, but other places in the world, like, look at the Koreas, I believe Japan, we had read an article the other day. There was like 8 or 9 countries that are all like cross-border intermingling with this CBDC possibility and these testing and stuff. Like it's coming. Like we don't know, like, what countries are going to adopt what and how things are going to look, but at some point, man, like it's all coming down the pipe.
As you're saying that, I'm just thinking to myself, maybe that's how we retain privacy, right? Like if it's if you, for example, I'm with, say, I don't know, we have 5 banks in Canada. Say you're with Bank of Montreal, for example. They have their own private blockchain. So my transactions are visible to them, but not to everybody else.
Not to the other banks, not right.
And not to if I send money to one person to another. So you still have privacy in that aspect. Now, I think that could be a good thing. So we still have privacy because if you do everything on the blockchain, everybody can see everything, right? And and not everybody's going to be cool with that. I would argue that most people or still want some sort of privacy. So instead of having to use a privacy token, you can maybe do that kind of stuff on the bank. Unless you're doing something illegal, then good luck. But
they become the on-off ramp because like at some point, right?
Exactly.
To transact and interact and do all that stuff, like you have to use their system. And if it is the deposit token, then you've got to take your Bitcoin and put it into the deposit token so that it can get into your account so that you can pay for your
stuff. As long as that deposit token can, if I choose to go to the blockchain and buy Bitcoin, I can take that deposit token, get it into stable coin that is on a blockchain, and you know what I mean? I don't want it to be like self-contained, where it's only on here. Oh, you can buy Bitcoin from here, but it's not real Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Because
you get a wrapped synthetic version.
It's again, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're going back to the same system where it's not your keys, not your cheese, right? Like it's not you don't actually own that crypto. It's an IOU. So I would love to see that if they do that, they can get all the benefits of being an on and off ramp, get all the fees and everything, but if you choose to, just like, because the thing is, there's already on and off ramps that exist now that allow you to move money to your bank and also, buy actual assets to the blockchain and then send it to your own private wallet. So if they don't do that, I don't see how they're going to survive, because people will just more likely go to that. But if you can intermingle across the private blockchain to public blockchain, that'd be great. And then there's just more options for everybody, globally, for on and off ramps. Because I know for me, there's only a handful that I can use here in Canada, and I don't. In the US, there's probably more, but other countries may be even more limited to where they can on and off ramp, right? If they even have any, right?
Right. I like Cash App. Cash App's a good on off ramp.
Yeah, I use for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I use something called ShakePay. ShakePay is Canadian. They're based out of Montreal. Been using them since 2017, where I bought my first Bitcoin ever on there, and they've been fantastic. Can't complain. Again, they only have Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they literally this year they just added stablecoin. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, the stablecoin adoption is really happening, because since 2016 they only had Ethereum and Bitcoin. Adding stablecoin was like, wow, okay, this is happening.
I'm ready for Cash App to add stablecoin, man. Jack is a Bitcoin maxi, as you guys know. So all Cash App has is Bitcoin. It'd be great if they would add some stablecoin in there.
Have you ever used PayPal? Because PayPal has their own what do you call it? Stablecoin, PYUSD or something like that.
PYUSD. No, I haven't. I had was it a PayPal business account? And for the longest time, I think since probably the last several months, I feel like there was an article that came out a few months ago that changed. But I had a PayPal business account, and you had no access to the crypto stuff. Like, as a consumer, like a normal consumer, you could have crypto and you could do that stuff, but as a business owner account, you could not.
Okay. So our last headline before we get back in the charts.
BMO, the news thing that just popped to the top. BMO, that's Bank of Montreal, right?
Yeah, Bank of Montreal is one of the big 5 banks here in Canada. It's RBC, Bank of Montreal, CIBC, and Scotiabank. And there's another one, National Bank or something like that.
Scotiabank has an arena, don't they?
They do. That's where the Maple Leafs play.
That's right.
And the Raptors play there too. Yeah, so Bitcoin next stop could be 98K after getting past the key hurdle. Key analyst says we'll see. Let's take a look. Could have happened, 98K. So looking at the weekly, again, we get above that area, we get into that 90s. If we get above this area, I don't even see, like, on the weekly, like, if we get above here, like, there's kind of not much stopping us to get to 113.
The question is, in that article, like, what's the timeline like on the 90K? Because, like you said, like, if we're gonna go to 90K and it's like any times 98K, like, bro, we're going to like 140K. Like, that's the next stop. Like, we're not gonna just go damn near to close to 100K and then get rejected again. There's no way, right?
I really don't think so. I really don't think we're going to see 98K. Like, let me go back. I'm on a daily here. So our gap stops at 87. Then we have to get through all this. And then the next little gap is 102K, maybe right here, 96K, like right up here. Again, I could be wrong. I don't believe it's likely to happen. I still think we're going to roll over. We'll have to see, and we're kind of fighting on the daily with this moving average right here. So we'll see if we even get above that, right? Do we just come back down and roll over?
What about the whole Saylor versus BlackRock thing? I was talking about this morning. Saylor's 9,000 strategies, 9,000 Bitcoin away from, and this was of this morning, so who knows, what happened today. But they were 9,000 Bitcoin away from from having more Bitcoin than BlackRock does.
I think it's good that there is competition between this both, because we don't want one entity having like too much Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like,
but 2 entities having 10% is a lot.
I would probably, like, if I had to choose one, I would probably like to have Saylor own more, because he's not going to sell it. He's got that Robert Kiyosaki mindset. He's just going to borrow against it. He's just going to continue to borrow against it forever. Whereas BlackRock's got an ETF that they have to service the client. So if the client wants to sell, they gotta offload some too. So like they're withholding to that. Whereas Michael Saylor and strategy can just use this debt strategy to be able to pay their hold their dividends.
More stock out of it, out of thin air, and just buy more Bitcoin with it. Yeah.
Yeah, again, when you're at that level, man, you're borrowing money at like 0% interest. Like you got people, you got hookups, and
Every-
you know what I mean. Like
everyone-
it's you're playing a different game on a different level. And they can borrow forever because he's got the best fucking credit rating you can possibly have, right? Like, so yeah, that's a game that only the extremely wealthy can play. But if something really catastrophic happens to Bitcoin, you know, you're going to see, what we've seen before where things just fail and they'll have to sell. But he's taking a good bet. And I'm going to be honest with you. I love his bet, betting on Bitcoin, continuing to go up, make a new all-time high. It's only, even you think about it, if it's only you got to wait 3-4 years for a new all-time high, that's not so bad. They can weather that storm. And to be honest, we got the rest of this year, and then as of 2027, you're probably going to be moving to the upside and starting a new uptrend. And you're going to start talking about, is Michael Saylor going to be the most richest strategy going to be like the richest company in the entire world? Like you're going to start having those conversations soon.
I'm looking at an article that had came out. It says so this is obviously just came out Thursday, April 16th at 1:32 a.m. GMT. So it didn't come out too long ago. But Bitcoin news strategies, $1 billion Bitcoin buy pushes Saylor back into prop. You want me to pull this up actually?
Yeah, bring it up.
Okay. This seems like this is some share some screen. Bitcoin news.
And there he goes. He just removed himself. That's hilarious. Okay, we'll wait for JChains to reload back in. Man, yes, I think Saylor is going to be extremely, extremely wealthy in the very near future, in the next probably year or so. But as for Bitcoin, again, we got to look at this bear flag if it plays out or not. I don't think all-time highs are coming. I really hope not, because like I'm hoping for 59K to come back, and then we can go ahead and get in on the 50s and potentially lower if we get to that 45K target. Where did he go? Did he just there we go, he's back. Bro, what happened?
Sheesh. Dude, I went to share my screen and like my computer exploded almost.
He
Like,
just went into the void.
holy cow. All right, so I'm not going to try to pull that article back up. I don't even know. I gotta have to go search for it and find it. Holy smokes. Actually, I should find it because it's really important.
Yeah, it's Michael Saylor is it's gonna be a very interesting. I honestly hope I get a chance at Vegas to be able to maybe even see him and talk to him, shake his hand, something. Like, I don't know, maybe not, but that'd be pretty cool to pick his brain. I would love to know what his aha moment was, where like he said took Bitcoin seriously, and it's like, oh man, I gotta get in this because now he's like, well, one of the biggest holders ever.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, I can't find this article now. It's funny. Like, it was oh man, what was it talking about? It was saying something where they've got $64 billion to buy more Bitcoin. Like, by the end of 2026, he wants to own over 1 million Bitcoin. Like, they're not going to stop. He's at 700 and something thousand at this point, so he's not going to stop. He
wants to beat Satoshi.
He wants to beat Satoshi.
That's crazy. So let's do some moon math. Let's see where we think Bitcoin is going to go next bull cycle. So let's bring up my other chart so we can look at more long-term stuff. Let's bring up the I guess a monthly would probably be best for this. 1 month. All right. Let's take a look. Let's look at previous bear markets and figure out from bottom to top how they did and how we can figure it would go. So top to bottom, from 2017 to the bottom of 2019 here, took about, again, am I wrong here? Hold on. Is that right? I don't think that's right. 334 days. So it took about a year. We went down 85%. From that bottom, we went up to the top, which was 2,100%. Wow, that's insane. 2,100% took about 1,034 days.
You did a 20x.
Yeah, 21x. From the bottom of 2018, which I believe was like what 3,000 something, 31 on this chart. It shows 3,100, which is insane. And it's crazy. When I first started buying Bitcoin, it was about 3,600. I think Ethereum was $80.
Oh yeah,
I know, crazy stuff. And then we went to what 68, 69K in 2021, and then again from the top to the bottom, it took roughly about the same time. It took about the bottom here would have been this candle right here, which is about 395 days. Okay, give or take. 395 went down 76%, so 10% less than the previous bear market. Now, from that bottom to the top of 2025, took about 1,096 days. It's funny how the confluence is crazy. Like, again, it's not perfect, but within like 30 days or 40 days, you're almost at the same numbers here. 730% up. So a 7.3x. Not too shabby. And it's going to get less because the numbers are just higher, right? It takes a lot of money to move Bitcoin, especially with the market cap it's at now. So I anticipate, because it's done this previously in the past, that we're going to see from the top to the bottom, we're probably going to see a bottom somewhere around. So if we go down 75%, you're looking at 32,000. But maybe it's not 75. Let's go 65%, because maybe it's 10%, right? So let's go up to 65, which is around 44,000. And we'll go 300 and something days, 395 days, brings you to October 1st of 2026 at a price of 44,421. And I just showed you a chart where the next leg down goes to 45K. I didn't plan this. It just happens to work out that way. That is what we call confluence.
Right.
So bottom at 44,421. So what I'll do is I'll put a horizontal line to mark the bottom here. Now, let's see where we can potentially go to the top. So we hit the bottom on October 1st, I think we said it was. So October 1st, 1,000, I think it's usually about 1,000 something days. So we'll go 1,000 and we'll just say 1,066 days. And we're going to go, we went up 750. So say we go up like, I don't know, 450%, give or take. So that's a 266,000 Bitcoin by potentially July of 2029. That makes sense to me. That doesn't seem crazy, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Not in a long time frame. I'd like this. I'd like at this point zooming out and just like understanding, like we've got. Like if you think about the key metric, and what 2030 seems to be the key metric for just about every single thing, doesn't it?
If we, again, depending on if you're with that 4-year cycle or not, I don't know if the 4-year cycle is still going to be a thing, but if it is, then you would have to say 2030 would be the start of the bear market. I don't know. But what I did see, I was showing my wife this today, actually. So right now, to mine Bitcoin, you get a reward every time you mine a block. The miner that wins the block gets 3.12 BTC. In 2028, it's going down to 1.76 BTC. And then 2032, it's going to go to 0.76 BTC. So within the next 8 years, it's going to the supply shock of Bitcoin, like new supply of Bitcoin coming in, is going to be like tiny compared to what it is now. And I think to myself, look what Bitcoin did in 10 years to both, like this next bull cycle and the one after that. That's 8 years from now. That's going to be like not even 10 years. Imagine what kind of price Bitcoin's going to be at. I don't think we're going to see a $500,000 Bitcoin next bull cycle, because, like, again, I have PTSD from people telling me, like, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million. Like, I've heard that in 2021. It didn't even get close.
Don't you
not
think
even.
faith is stronger though now because of the institutional buy-in, because of the nation states, because of the sovereign wealth funds?
I, but
Different
that
no,
that
isn't it?
assumes that everybody's going to get in all at the same time. I think it's going to be a slow bleed in, because and some companies will be so wealthy that they don't need to. Like, look at, like, does Google need to get into Bitcoin right now? They make so much money. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they'll get to a point where they need to, or they just have to conform. And I could be wrong, but like, I don't know. I think some people, some companies, and some founders and whatever will fight it until the very end. You know what I mean? Like you see guys like Peter Schiff. There's a lot of people like Peter Schiff. It's not just one person, right? I think I think of Bitcoin as more of a generational thing. As the older generation passes away, retires, and the new generation comes in, like our children, when mine and your daughters are in their 20s, I think that's where crypto is going to be just like a normal part of life. Like, they're just going to be using it. It's a thing. It's always existed. Just like, the people, like the kids that came after me, the Gen Zs, they came into a world where the internet always existed. They'd never not had it. Like, I'm a millennial. I was the last one to have a little bit of both worlds,
Mhm.
before we came to the world where the internet just existed.
What year were you born?
88.
88. Okay.
So I think our kids' generations are going to be the ones where they're into a world where crypto just, it always existed. So it's always going to be a thing, and they're growing up. They're always going to know about it. So that's where I think you're going to start to see like companies, because they will be the business owners, the founders, and all that. They'll be the ones getting in it and wanting to use, like, even in the future. I think to myself, like, our kids are going to be like, you drive a car? Ew. Like, it can drive itself. Like, why would you drive if the car could drive for you? Like, it's literally gonna be like that.
You bought meme coins?
Right? Like, what are you doing?
You didn't buy just Bitcoin? You weren't a maxi?
But yeah, it's gonna be a different mindset. And I'm trying to get in the head of, like, what would a future kid growing up into the world, like, value, right? And they're not going to value cash. They want, the world just moves faster and faster and faster. Cash is going to be so analog, where they're just going to want to, like, it's going to be at a point where, like, you see your Ray-Bans, you're going to see your Meta glasses, your Apple, what are they called, the Apple glasses or whatever, you're just going to have augmented reality. You're going to have some sort of AI assistant in your glasses, in your watch, like everywhere, where you can just, like, hey, send transaction to yada, 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 boom, done. It's going to, no more QR codes. That'll be a thing of the past. It'll just know where to send it, and, or connect to the person. Like, it's going to be like a Ready Player One, right? Like, everyone's a user inside this world. And I don't know, that's where my brain goes with this kind of stuff. And it makes sense, because if we're moving to a more digital world, and robots and AI agents are going to be doing a lot of the work, they're not going to be using cash to pay themselves. They're going to be using digital currencies, and the only thing that makes sense is crypto. It's the technology that already exists.
It's interesting to think when you talk about, like our children, right? Our daughters, like, them, crypto will be a part of their life from their inception. Like, that's wild to think. And
Yeah.
there's going to be that generation that adopts of it more than us pioneers do. That's wild. That's actually really interesting to think.
I saw this really cool, I think you're going to enjoy this. I saw this really cool, like, little video. It's a sunflower. The sunflower is on the grass, and the sun is coming down, and it's dying because the sun is killing it. And so it's on one side of the grass, and in between this grass and the next patch of grass is a boulevard where someone would park their car. And this guy's dying. The sunflower is dying because the sun's hitting it, but the other grass on the other side has the sprinkler on. So this guy, he pulls his roots out of the grass, and he's crawling, trying to get to the other side, and then he gets to the edge of that boulevard and dies. And, like, the seeds come out from, how sunflowers turn into, like, those things they can blow. I don't know what the hell they're called. And then the seed gets planted in that other piece of grass, and then it grows. And that's, like, the idea. We're planting the seeds for our children right now. We're laying the groundwork, and then they will come in and take from our work and and grow. And from there, like crypto and getting involved, like I'm getting, my daughter's buying Bitcoin right now. I'm buying her Bitcoin. She has her own wallet. Going to be doing this, I'm going to teach her how to use crypto as she grows up. It's going to be a thing that we just do, and it's going to be totally normal for her. And again, it's those seeds that we plant for the next generation, because we are really so early in crypto right now. Like, I don't think people realize, I know it's been around for almost 20 years. I feel like it's still so early, because and the governments and everything are just starting to really pay attention and take this seriously, because fiat is dying, and the system cannot work anymore. And you're seeing, especially now, with trades breaking down between countries. Like, look at the Strait of Hormuz with taking Bitcoin transactions. Like, if that's not a big sign saying, hey, there's real use case for this, right? Because we don't trust anybody anymore. I don't trust the US, the trade. I don't trust you. So you know what? We'll use Bitcoin if we're going to transact. I don't need to trust you anymore. We're just going to transact.
Yeah. There was another article that I had gone through this morning, and it was along that same kind of thing, where you're starting to see the I think the article is really on the breakdown fundamentally of the dollar, the US dollar, and like how it used to hold the global reserve currency status and stuff, but like that's starting to go away. And what's going to be the replacement? Well, I think something in this digital system will be the replacement of it. And man, when that happens, man, I hope we're holding some of that in our portfolio.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and you know what? I always tell people when I try to tell people about Bitcoin, they're like, it's never going to be a thing. And I always tell them, I said,
Already a thing.
I said, what if you're wrong? I said, you got it. Like, are you planning in case you are wrong? Right. So I said, maybe hold some, maybe not just a little bit, whatever, something that you can afford to lose, whatever. But like I said, are you planning for, like, you're not right about everything. Everybody's wrong. So like I start throwing that in there, it makes people go, oh, I don't know. They have no argument for that. It's tough because people just want to. So go ahead.
Do you think at this point, that was always always one of the things, like never invest more than you can afford to lose? Like, I get that. Bitcoin's, I mean, unless the internet breaks down, Bitcoin's not going to zero, right?
But even, I was having a conversation with, my cousin's girlfriend about this, because she says, oh, Bitcoin, if you only knew it was behind, it's getting all these things, thinking the whole Epstein files, all that stuff like that. And she said, what if the grid goes down? Well, I said, if the grid goes down, then, and she's saying gold is the best thing, right? I said, well, if the grid goes down, then, nothing's going to work. We're going to go back to most likely a barter system. Hey, I need apples. I got some shoes.
That's what you need. Bullets, beans, and bourbon. Like, if the world goes to shit, that's what you need.
So we're going to go back to a barter system. I said, what are you going to do? If you need to go buy apples, you're going to shave off some gold from a bar and buy apples? Like, it's not going to work, man. So that would happen. But also, we know that, Jack Dorsey created an app that can send Bitcoin transactions through Bluetooth. Bitcoin can also be sent through shortwave radio. I don't know if you've heard that before, but it can be sent through shortwave radio. But I'm sorry, but if we have a global catastrophe where we're back in the Stone Age and we don't have the internet anymore, yeah, Bitcoin may be worth zero, but so will cash and so will gold. Because what are you going to use it for, right?
Yeah. Society is zero at that point. Like, we got nothing really to worry about. I don't think we're at the same structure that we were, several years ago when we first got into the space. For me, like,
we have the knowledge, right?
That was always something to say, is like, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Like, I would say that about altcoins for sure, and meme coins and NFTs, but about Bitcoin, unequivocally, no. Like, we know where this is going. Like,
you can't afford not to get into it.
Unless it's the craziest black swan that nobody ever anticipated, which obviously we'll give it a less than a 1% chance of happening. Like, Bitcoin is going to flourish, and it will be multi-million. There was just an article that we read the other day, that was, I think it was yesterday, maybe it came out, where Michael Saylor said Bitcoin is going to get to $21 million. Like, there's a lot of buy-in, there's a lot of caveats to that, but Bitcoin having a $21 million price tag per coin is wild.
I listened to Anthony Pompliano a lot, and he says fiat has no no bottom. And that means Bitcoin has no top, right? Bitcoin can go up forever because as long as central banks are printing money and the governments fund their economies through a deficit through printing money, then assets will continue to rise. Like that is the mechanism of how it works. That's what causes assets to rise. It's the market forecasting inflation and pricing in that inflation into to assets. So until that systematically changes, it's always going to go up. Like you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I know everything, but like that is the mechanism. That's why everything in the stock market has always gone up, not because it's better. Houses, in my opinion, like you look at houses were probably built way better in the 70s than they are built now. But the houses are cost way more now than they did in the 70s. Why? It's not because the house is better. It's because the money can buy you less. You have to use more dollars to buy the same good. It's all it is. So until that changes,
like what you said, Mike, it's not even the same good. Materials are cheap as shit now.
Oh my God.
Back in the day, like the furniture that you would buy is quality. Now it's just dog shit that falls apart when you look at it. First time you move, it's going to just collapse on you.
Yeah, it's like IKEA furniture. You take it apart once, you're screwed. You put it together once, never take it apart.
Look at it. On those chairs. If you get those chairs from what's that other site?
Wayfair.
Yeah, thank you. If you get Wayfair chairs, don't even fucking sit on them because they're gonna break the moment you do.
They're just for looking at. They're just there to look pretty. That's it.
Houses for realtors. That's it.
It's for stage, exactly, for staging. Yeah, so it's funny. Like Bitcoin may very well go to 21 million, but what's 21 million gonna buy you? Like, what's it worth at that point? And that's the thing I ask myself. Like, I don't know the timeline of these things going up to this price. I haven't seen. It's hard for me to imagine because it hasn't happened yet. Anything's possible, of course. Like we what's to say that the Bitcoin has to follow the same structure where like we have depreciating or what do you call them? Reducing returns. What's the word I'm looking for? Depreciating returns?
Diminishing returns.
Thank you. It doesn't have to be that way. What if just maybe the cycle before we had COVID and then we hit a crazy bottom for COVID and then we went right back up, and maybe because we had that huge dip and that huge pump that it was muted on the way up because you were stopped by 40-year high interest rates. So maybe that's what thwarted it. Maybe it could have gone higher if it wasn't for the interest rates. Then you had the cascading bankruptcies and over leverage and FTX and all that. And then, we had our bear market and the downtrend, the snowball effect from there, right? Now, this time around, I don't know. This was a weird bull market. I don't know what to say about this one. It should have gone higher, in my opinion, based on how bullish the news was. I don't know if it's a Trump thing. I don't know if it's just like the uncertainty in the world because of all the kind of conflicts that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Bitcoin had a pretty decent bull run, but I felt like it could have gone higher. My target was about 150 for this bull market. Didn't hit it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What's to say that next bull cycle doesn't go up another 2,000%? It can. Right? It's not crazy. What if it just goes up 1,000%? Right? I don't think
even
that's outrageous.
That's still pretty good. That's better than a lot of other assets will go up in a year. I would think that we're in for a wild ride. Like when the time happens, and I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, but at some point everything is going to catch up, and it's going to catch up all at once. And I'm sure some of y'all have heard me talk about this before. So Dan Moorhead, who's the founder of Pantera Capital, at the Ondo Summit in New York, he had said that we have 2 to 3 years for a Bitcoin arms race. And I think, honestly, like we have way less than that at this particular moment. But he said that we have 2 to 3 years for the Bitcoin arms race. You're going to see, well, once, the U.S. does our strategic reserve, the countries that are with us are going to do the same. The countries that are against us, like China, are going to do the same. It is going to be a cascading effect. And what's interesting is that I think we're going to see institutions start this war right now. I talked about the whole, strategy, Sailor versus Fink thing. They're going to be the catalyst for this trade war, for who can stockpile the most Bitcoin, and countries are going to have to get in on the get while the getting is good, because once this thing takes off, man, the price becomes untouchable for a lot of people. To get
Absolutely.
the quantities that they need. Banks are going to have to do the same thing. For banks to offer this to retail clients, they're going to have a strategic reserve of it as well. It's, man, I tell you what, at some point, when it happens, it's going to
Yeah.
be wild.
And that leads, I've always talked about like the S curve of adoption, right? You have diminishing returns until you have the S come up, and then you just you have another parabolic run.
Yep.
And that could very well be the case here. And I've never been like, the argument for that is better now than it ever has been, in my opinion. And we're talking about potential of the 4-year cycle being done. I've never entertained that idea 4 years ago, but now if that was to happen, I could totally believe it now, because of where we're going. Like, it's not just like speculation that institutions are getting. It's not speculation that the government's looking into Bitcoin. They are, and they have been, and they're doing it literally in front of our eyes.
The question is, how big are they going to go? What kind of a reserve do they want? What kind of a stockpile are they aiming for? I mean, it looked very clear. Strategy wants to have 1 million Bitcoin by the end of 2026, and they've got, I think it was 46 billion or 64 billion, whatever it was, that they've got left to buy more Bitcoin. So like, they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, like, we're talking about, the next leg down to like 45K. Like, if everybody, like, the 4-year cycle itself is, part of it is the halving, because you get a supply shock. But another part is, if everybody believes that there's a 4-year cycle, then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like, everybody believes it's going to happen, so it's going to happen, because everybody's going to sit on the sidelines and wait after they've taken their profits until people the other people get exhausted and just say, I gotta sell, I gotta get out of this market, I gotta cut my losses, and then it just happens, right? You get your next leg down. So institutions are going to want to see that, because they're going to want to load up at the lowest price possible. So if I'm an institution, I want to get it, I'm betting on that 4-year cycle. Maybe I'm dollar cost averaging, but I'm betting on the bag on that 4-year cycle playing out, and it hasn't been wrong yet.
Do you think institutions like BlackRock, Arkham, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, do you think any of them give a shit about the 4-year cycle and the miners at all?
I think people that are that big, like what their allocation to Bitcoin is right now, is like nothing compared to, like, if you're looking at risk, it's peanuts to them. In their grand scheme of their entire assets under management. So
I mean, BlackRock, let's see,
but they're the leaders, right? Like, they're the ones leading the trend. They can afford to take the risk, and I don't know, who knows, they probably got some great deals. I'm sure BlackRock probably owns miners, or like, don't they own one of the, I said, doesn't BlackRock own one of the mining companies? I'm pretty sure they do.
I heard something about that. I mean, it would make the most amount of sense. Like, you would think so. But it was like, let's see, they had $130 billion loss in Q1 of this year.
That's crazy. Which is,
I mean, like, but they can withstand that. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, that would put just about every single, I don't know why that is not loading up. BlackRock reports record Q1 with 132 billion in losses. No, that was net inflows. Never mind.
So, BlackRock, as of March 31st, 2026, BlackRock's assets under management is $13.89 trillion. Freaking $1 billion or $100 billion is like nothing to them. That's absolutely insane. So, like, people, like, places like that can afford to mess around in Bitcoin, and like, it's nothing. And that's the crazy part about it too, because think about, hedge funds and like your average pension just starting to allocate like 1% into Bitcoin. That's where I'm starting to go, and it's going to be one of those things where people start to see the performance of it, and like, You know, if I like, I'm actually actively looking at waiting for the next leg down, because I'm going to add it to my traditional investments, like buying, you know, a Bitcoin ETF under that vehicle, because it's tax sheltered, and then be able to take advantage of that for my retirement.
Nice. It was all right. So that was $20.47 billion paper loss in quarter one of 2026 due to the declining Bitcoin and Ethereum prices. So it was a $20 billion paper loss that they took, unrealized loss.
Wow.
But
That's
they'll make
crazy.
once it comes back, it's going to be like you said, they're already trillions. Like that will make them trillions once we get to the new peak. And mark my words, BlackRock runs the show.
Oh my God.
They
These guys
run
lose 20 billion, and I'm here sweating when I'm in the red in my trade for like $20.
$100 and I'm sweating.
Right? So, well, I don't even know how I would feel if I'd probably need to have like a heart monitor attached to me or something if I'm in a trade and I'm down 20 billion. Actually, did you remember that transaction where that one person sent a transaction? No, they swapped a coin. It was like $5 million, and they ended up getting like 36,000 out of that swap because it was the slippage was too high.
Not enough liquidity in the protocol. It was like an Aave thing.
Holy crap, man!
Yeah,
Can you imagine? Like, I don't know.
You're set for life, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what just happened?
I would be a fresh new divorcee. Yeah, that would be absolutely wild. I don't even know. I hope that 5 million was nothing for you, and that whoever did that transaction can stomach that loss. That is wild. This is why you don't mess around. Always send a test transaction. Come on.
And no, but like, and you had like, it was funny because I remember I think it was the founder had came out and said, look, like we have offered to, because it was like a $400,000 transaction fee for this. Like they said, like we've offered to give him back the 400K of the transaction fee because whatever. But like, look, we know that this was done on a mobile phone. We know the protocol. We know that you had to click this. You had to click, like you had to approve this. This wasn't accidental. So we'll give you the 400K back, like, you know, because we made like 50 million off you. But, you know, this was his fault.
I'll be honest. I'm totally guilty. Sometimes on MetaMax, you just accept, sign transaction, you know, just because, you know, especially with things that you connect to regularly. Mind you, I don't keep crazy amounts on any of my wallets. We're vastly spread out. No single point of failure. If anybody's listening that is new to crypto, this is the biggest piece of advice you can do to protect yourself, because you're going to make a mistake. It's going to happen. At some point, you're going to make a mistake. No one single point of failure. So if you have money, spread it. It takes 2 seconds to create a wallet. Spread it out. Don't have all your eggs in one basket.
That's the best practice right there. That's a mic drop.
Absolutely. And speaking of mic drop,
that's a mic.
That was absolutely. Clip it. I think I can tell StreamYards to clip it. So
yes, I recently saw that. As if you say clip it, because you get, you know, I think like 25 of the clip things that you can run, so you can clip the show and do all that stuff. So you just say that, boom, it knows what to do.
There we go. So Bitcoin, we still think that we're going to be in our bear flag. Until that changes, I have to believe that we're still going to be in that bear flag. So 45K is the target. I'm not going to lie. I am really hoping for that 45K. But if we go up, hey, great. I've been dollar cost averaging, so I can take some profits there. I'm going to be doing in the next bull market. I'm going to have a percentage of my Bitcoin that I'm just going to swing trade. Like every time I'm going to have it. Every time we have a nice like 20% rip in a month, boom, take profits, wait for that dip, just consolidation.
Spot level, right? That's what you're saying?
Spot, yeah, just spot. I'll be honest with you, I tried it for the first time in this bull market, made a couple $1,000. It was pretty damn good. So if you can swing trade, especially getting a swing trade, like say, you know, 0.1 BTC or whatever you can afford, you swing trade, like getting in at these lows and then waiting till you double, you make it 2x. Take it out every time we have a big leg up a good, nice green month, take some profits. We always have pullbacks. Wait for a 20% pullback. Buy the same amount of Bitcoin that you sold, and then do it again and keep the spread. You pay yourself pretty well, and there's no leverage. There's no worry about that. And if you're on, on an exchange with like VDEX with low fees, or potentially BitUnix, I don't know what the fees are like there, but wherever the fees are, your fees are, if they're low, that's I saved a lot of money actually using an exchange to do my swaps than going to my on and off ramp, switching back to Canadian dollars and doing that, because you'll get killed by fees. So make sure you guys, a little bit of advice, especially if you want to save as much money as possible, do that.
I had sent something about this. I posted this the other day. So like on BitUnix, I had like a bunch of random little shitcoins or whatever, right? And so ultimately, I wanted to say, you know what? I don't need dust of all of these things. And there was like one of those features where you could grab all that and you can convert it into a coin. So I grabbed everything that was dust and I put it into Bitcoin. It was like 31 bucks a Bitcoin, right? And so what am I doing? I'm throwing that into this is actually, I think this is Mike Navarro's. He won this from being the gold medal champ all week on the show. But moving, profits out of your trade account, moving them into cold storage, moving that dust that you just, maybe you've got, like you said, like on an exchange, it was free to swap all of that into Bitcoin. And then, dude, I can just send that straight to my cold storage and then watch that gain more than 31 bucks.
It's crazy. Back in when I got into crypto in 2018, I had some dust. I was on Binance at the time. That was the first exchange I ever used. And I had some dust. Like I didn't want, it was like, at the time, it was like $1 here, $1 there. When I came back into crypto, because I left for a while, I came back in the next bull run in 2021. That shit, like that was over $100. And I'm talking like some of them were pennies. Some of them were pennies. And it went over to $100. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. That was like the one of the moments where I'm like, damn, the returns you can get in this market are just insane. And here I am, almost 10 years later.
That reminds me, I need to log in to my Binance account. I got an OG Binance account.
I had one too, but they banned it in specifically my province that I live in. So I can't use Binance anymore.
VPN, sir.
Oh, I can. To be honest, like nowadays, I'm more trying to use as much decentralized stuff as possible. That's why I'm using VDEX, because like I'm not actually depositing my funds onto VDEX. They're in my MetaMask, and all I'm doing is signing like a bar tab. It's kind of like the Lightning Network. So you sign a transaction, you do all your trades, and you don't actually talk to the blockchain again until you withdraw, and then you settle up the tab. It'll look at all the transactions you made and just make sure that the balances are correct, and then it pays you out whatever you're going to get paid out. That's what I like about it. Like I used to use Weeks before, had to deposit your stuff on Weeks. It's similar. Again, it's similar. You got a third counterparty risk because you got to trust them that they're going to give you the money in case things go sour. Whereas, on VDEX, that's not the case. Your money is yours. It's just locked into a smart contract, right? So it never leaves your wallet. I love that feature.
I like
yeah. And this bull market, I've used a lot of decentralized swaps because I just don't want, to have everybody paying attention to what I'm doing. Like I don't want the government to know everything that I'm doing. I report my taxes legally, which I've done, but like I like my privacy, right? And I feel like because blockchain is so public that I think it's too easy for a government to take advantage. You know what I mean? Like they're demanding so much extra privacy that they don't need. Like if I send $500 to my crypto.com wallet, I get a pop-up that says, where'd this money come from? Because they have something called the travel rule. But if I went to the bank and I deposited $500 in my bank, no questions asked. So why the discrepancy? Like it's $500 of value. Like why is crypto being picked on versus cash? If it was $20,000, I fully understand, right? But because they would ask me the same thing at my bank. Where'd this $20,000 come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's fine, I get it. But I don't know. That's kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. And not to mention those centralized on and off ramps kill you for fees. It's like, I think it works out to like 2 or 3%, where like some decentralized places like less than 1%. Your maker taker fee, especially for trading, it's like well under 1%. That's it. That's the way. That is the way. All right, brother.
Hey.
I think we beat this with a dead. We don't want to be a dead horse, so let's move on here. Bitcoin possibly down, and I think that's all we got for this week. Like we know where we're going. You guys are armed with knowledge. We know that if we break this upper trend line, expect fireworks potentially. If not, expect a lower.
Okay, so give me your. Because we'll know in a week when we get back here next Wednesday night. We'll know probably what we're a little bit closer. Maybe we won't know, but we'll maybe be a little bit closer to understanding what's going to happen. Do you think by next week we will have broken out of this trend line? We'll be up over 80K, or do you think we'll be broken down and we'll be back into like the 65 area?
Let's see. This 3-day candle finishes in 2 days. So I'm just trying to see when the next, Wednesday. So next Wednesday would be the 22nd, right here. So I think I'm going to draw it out. So we'll have it next time when it pop up. I think we're going to probably touch the top of this channel, which will probably touch this moving average and then come back down, at least to the bottom of the channel. So by next week, you'll probably either see it at the top of the channel, or by next week, you'll see it have already touched and moving on the way down. That's my prediction till next week.
All right.
What do you think?
We're going to blast through it.
Through it?
Yeah, we're going to blast through it. But then it's all fake. All of it is fake. It's just to trap the bulls. We're going to blast through it, but we're going to come right back down. We're going to go back sub 50K. I know some people don't think it's going to happen. I think it is. I'm all for it. I'm going to will this into existence because I want to
manifest it. Absolutely. I said we're going to manifest it. Absolutely.
Yes, words are spells, man. We're gonna I'm gonna cast a spell on Bitcoin. 49,000.
All right, guys. So 2 weeks we're gonna be in Vegas. So if you guys are not there, make sure you guys get your tickets today. And it's gonna be in 2 weeks. So if you guys are going to Vegas, make sure you guys hit us up. The Trade Daddies will be there. I have your shirt. I'm gonna give you your shirt in Vegas. So we'll be there. Maybe we'll do some content and have some fun. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a really good time, and it's gonna be nice to have some nice hot weather. So if you guys are in Vegas, I am gonna be there at the 27th. I land on 27th, but I land in the morning. So I'll be there May 1st.
Nice, dude. Okay. So I'll be there as well, as we were just discussing. The conference is the 27th through the 29th. The 30th is the Influencer Awards. It's also my birthday. My brother will be in town. My brother's going to come to Vegas and come hang out. And so the night of the 30th is good. We're going to do something big.
Okay, I'm going to send you a DM because I've never been to the Influencer Awards. I don't even know if I'm allowed to go. So I'll
did you not MC? I think from what I understand, I'm MCing it, and so you can roll with our crew. It's you and your wife, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You just roll.
Yeah,
you roll.
My wife, and I don't know if Mick is going to still be there, if she'll have left by then. But yeah, me and my wife for sure are going to be there. We took the extra day or in a bit so we can just enjoy and have fun.
Boom. Hell yeah. All right, cool. We'll talk in DMs for sure. Or we can text me, whatever. But hell yeah. Smash the like button on the way out of here. Trade Daddy.
Okay, smash the like button. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Yeah. Another session in the books. Trade Daddies. Let's close it out right. Yeah. From the charts to the couch, we appreciate your time. Every view, every share, that support is a sign. Late night learners building wealth slow. Plant seeds today, watch the legacy grow. We don't flex hype, we invest in the grind. Teach discipline so you level your mind. If the game gave value and the message hit deep, run it back, tap let the algorithm speak. Trade Daddies, yeah, we here every week, dropping gems, keeping structure unique. If you vibe with the movement, help it expand. Like, share, subscribe, build the brand. Trade Daddies, Yeah, we teach no cap, real dads, real trades, real talk on the map. Yeah. No promises quick, just knowledge and reps. Risk managed tight, calculated steps. From beginners to vets, everybody can learn. Market cycle spin, patience earns. So salute to the viewers, community strong. Independent thinkers, moving along. Hit subscribe if you rock with the show. Turn alerts on, don't miss the flow. Don't miss the flow.
Who keeps it real? Trade daddies. Who builds the skill? Trade daddies. Like it up, share it wide.